Welcome to Evolve the Earth Talk Show. On today's episode, we have our guest, the X Factor, Sancho DiMera. He is an experienced wrestler, educational instructor, and host of the Bulletcast podcast. So, without further ado, the X Factor, Sancho DiMera. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. What's going on, man?
Going on. So, what motivated you to get into the sport of wrestling?
It's simple. I watched it as a kid. You know, people as kids, I want to do this, I want to do that, then they grow up and they never really do it. I think I'm one of the very few that actually kind of followed that dream.
Did you look up to any of those guys?
I mean, yeah, of course, you look up to guys. A lot of this stuff I do solo when I'm out there in the ring. I'll emulate certain guys. Just pay tribute to the people that paved the way.
Gotcha. Yeah. As an instructor, how do the skills developed in wrestling influence your teaching philosophy and approach in the classroom?
I'm an amateur wrestling coach, aside from being a professional wrestler. Coach right here at Mount Eden High School. We're in the middle of our season. Believe it or not, amateur wrestling and pro wrestling kind of do go hand in hand. Show days are long days and tournament days are long days. So I do kind of incorporate some of the things that when I'm training for pro wrestling, I do kind of incorporate some of those things into amateur wrestling. So they kind of do go hand in hand.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. How was your experience in the wrestling community helped you manage relationships with students and professional talent?
The relationships I have with the kids I coach, it's very nice. A lot of the times kids come back, to kind of chop it up with us and, kind of help and demonstrate things that they were good at. Overall, as far as the coaching aspect, my relationships with the kids that I've coached previously, the ones that I'm currently instructing, I believe that's going very well. And as far as like in professional wrestling, it's gone great, man. I mean, I kind of give you the backstory. I started out as a podcaster. I created my podcast, here at Chabot a number of years ago, 7.5 years ago, coming up on 8. So I did that for a long time. Then I got into pro wrestling commentary. I've been doing that for 4 years now.
Okay.
Then eventually that led to me, always want to be a wrestler and all that. There's this specific match that I called. I was at the Emporium in San Francisco. It was for a promotion called UGWA, the Underground Wrestling Alliance. The match was Sandra Moon. She's a great talent. She's been wrestling in Japan and stuff like that. It was her versus Journey Fatu. Now, Journey Fatu, a member of the Samoan dynasty, related to Yokozuna, Rikishi, The Rock, etc. Yeah.
Okay.
I was calling that match, and then it was after they were done, I'm like, okay, yeah, now I gotta step foot in here. I gotta do this, because being a commentator, narrating the action, that's amazing to feel that energy from that aspect. Man, it's a whole other ball game when you're in there and you're controlling it. I like to think of us as professional wrestlers, we're puppet masters,
Sure.
We control the oohs and the ahs and the cheers and the boos of the crowds. Being in there in that aspect of this business, it's unworldly.
Is there any challenges in that that you've encountered?
It's a lot. I mean, sometimes you can lose the crowd.
Sure.
So you have to get them back.
Gotcha.
You
Get them back.
Get them back and get them invested.
Okay.
Yeah. But Sancho never has a problem with that.
Okay, no doubt. Are there specific psychological techniques from athletic training that you apply in your teaching methods to enhance student engagement?
Practice like you would play. It's simple. It kind of goes back to the same thing with like our training, Practice the way you would perform. It's as simple as that. Piss poor practice results in piss poor performance. It goes hand in hand.
Right.
I tell the students, like, all right, if you're going to train like that, then you're going to wrestle like that, and then you're going to end up on your back losing, and you're going to wonder what happened. Kind of the same thing. I don't want to use a certain word here, TV guidelines. If you don't practice a certain way, you won't perform that way.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So it's like a standard or performance.
Yeah. I hold my students to a standard, and I hold myself to a certain standard.
Gotcha. That's what's up. What is the name of your podcast, and how do you approach content creation?
There have been many incarnations. I mean, I started it out in the spectator room, just in one of those little offices. I mean, now you guys have
newspaper.
Yeah. You guys now have an unbelievable studio in there. I wish that was there from when I was there, but
gotcha.
It all comes with time and things like that. We just started out in that little room, and then it evolved. One of the evolutions was here at KCTH in the TV studio. The desk over there. That's where I shot about 50 episodes in here.
Wow.
Yeah, we've done well over 400 episodes now. I've had some big guests.
Name some
Hall of Famers like Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man.
Wow. Okay.
Scott Steiner, Rikishi. The list can go on. I had Shaul Guerrero, the daughter of Eddie Guerrero. The list can go on and on. You have to kind of evolve with the times. Because when I started podcasting, you had obviously you still need an RSS feed and all that other stuff. But like people are on like Spotify and Apple Music. A lot of these platforms used to have to pay to get on.
Streaming, yeah.
Yeah. So then when Anchor came about, You just set up your RSS feed there and it sent it to everywhere.
That's some game right there.
That was a blessing.
For podcasters.
That was a blessing in disguise. It's really all about, just content creation. You see like on IG or Twitter, TikTok, all these different clips, like with the people interviewing somebody, they know they'll cut to something with the caption of the words.
Yeah.
That's really the best way to get noticed. I have to really up my game on that, I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
My approach to podcasting is just be entertaining.
Gotcha.
There's so many pro wrestling podcasts out there. Anybody can just talk about wrestling.
Sure.
I like to have like little storylines going on. We even had a podcast championship for a period of time. Actually, my podcast does have another championship that actually gets defended in the ring.
Oh, wow.
So besides, commentary, podcasting, and wrestling, I kind of stepped into the promoter, the booker territory.
Okay.
I'm partnered with a company called Collectible Stampede.
Okay.
So,
That's
whenever they run shows a couple times a year, and whenever that happens, I do have a Bullet Cast championship match that happens. Shout out Alpha Zoe, he's the champ.
Shout out to the champion.
Yeah, come on now.
How do you balance the demands of wrestling, teaching, and hosting a podcast?
So our dojo, shout out to Oasis Pro, they help me follow the dream. They're open 4 days a week from 6 to 9 p.m. Monday through Thursday. I train Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, but then also I have coaching, which is 5 days a week, and then not to mention the tournaments on Saturdays, and those are long days. So
Gotcha.
I try to get the podcast done at some time during the middle of the week, and then so we pre-record it and then we can release it to go out. But yeah, that is hard, especially because I've never missed a week of the podcast.
Yeah, I think you're telling me that.
Yeah, 400 something episodes.
Wow.
I think
amazing.
In the pro wrestling world, I think myself and another guy named Sam Roberts, he works for like Sirius XM and WWE and all that.
Right.
He's like the only other guy in the wrestling aspect of podcasting that's never missed a week.
Gotcha.
So I like to hold myself in a high regard, and I'm very proud of that, believe it or not.
Gotcha. Is there any difference with like your wrestling podcast from other wrestling podcasts?
There are the wrestling podcasts that were like people who have been in the business for a long time.
Sure.
They'll just tell stories. Okay, so we did this show in 1995 and blah, 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 this happened.
Right.
Ours, we recap the week that was. We just kind of go down the list, any outside of the ring news,
Gotcha.
etc. But yeah, we try to have fun. Multiple people on the podcast. If I really don't have something to say about something, I'll throw it to somebody and they can give kind of more an elaborate discussion or answer about a certain topic. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. That's what's up. How do you shape your identity as a wrestler and a brand?
Branding,
I see that on your shirt too, by the way.
Shout out to the Melanin Mafia. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? Taking over.
Represent.
Man. Shaping yourself as a brand is incredibly important.
Right.
In this game, as the Melanin Mafia. I mean, obviously, it's
What does that mean, by the way?
The Melanin Mafia. It's myself, Beatrice, Domino, the Black Panthers, my tag team partner, my sister.
Okay.
We're also in a group with a guy named Cliff Hendricks, Yellow Boots.
Oh wow.
He was actually trained by Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion. The Melanin Mafia, we're unapologetically black. We do things by our terms, by any means necessary. Yeah, I mean, just shaping your identity in a brand, that's very important. I've seen, I've kind of gone to other shows and I've seen people wearing our shirt and okay, so it is working what we're doing.
Nice.
And we have, whenever we go out, there'll be a voice that says you are now about to witness the Melanin Mafia, because I want people to know, okay, we're about to see something special. We've kind of branded ourselves as the more cinematic wrestlers. If you watch our promos, we try to make it as very cinematic as possible, and a lot of the stuff, I want you to feel like you're watching a movie.
Gotcha.
Because during the pandemic, WWE, obviously you can't have fans in attendance, so they did more cinematic stuff, and I was like, okay, well, why can't that happen on the independent level? You get out of this what you put in.
Right.
A lot of our shoots can be long, take 4 to 5 hours, but the end result is worth it. Every show I go to, even if I'm not wrestling, I'm just there, kind of watching and supporting. People hey man, I love your videos, so-and-so. You guys are doing a great job. Okay, so that's how we know what we're doing is working. We want to take this nationwide, worldwide, We want the Melanin Mafia to be in New Jersey. We want the Melanin Mafia to be in Vegas, Missouri, Texas.
On Mars.
Japan, Mars, Venus, Pluto. I know it's not a planet anymore.
No doubt, but those clothes, we get them on a site or something? The logo or something?
Oh, come on now. Melanin Mafia merchandise, DM Sancho DiMera on Instagram at Sancho DiMera.
All right, for sure. The Mafia. In what ways can entrepreneurial skills you've gained benefit the wrestling culture?
That's the biggest thing, especially with merchandise. I know people set up on different sites,
sure.
But the sites, they get a percentage of it.
Gotcha.
The way I do it, I'll get together with the team. All right, we get X amount of shirts. This is how much it's going to cost. We put the money in together. We even did pre-orders for these when we were first doing them. So pre-orders is a great way to do that. After that, man, just basically like how the CD man used to out the trunk of the car. That's the best way to do it. You keep you keep all your profits.
Yeah.
Merchandise is the the best way to make money. Obviously, you know, as a professional wrestler, you go work at a show, you get your rate for performing, but then, you know, the real merches, that's the real money.
That's the others,
Yeah, I mean, we have the shirts, you know, we have stickers, we have 8x10s that we sell.
Right.
So yeah, it's all about that.
That's how you brand right there.
Absolutely.
With fans, how do you maintain professional boundaries?
That's a great question, you know, because ever since I've kind of like started doing this on my personal like Facebook page, I've gotten like friend requests and stuff. I don't accept them. I mean, like you get to see Sancho on the show if you're watching on YouTube, etc. But like, don't come like try to friend me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my personal space. Even though it's social media, that's kind of my personal space.
Gotcha.
And I've got like fans, you know, trying to DM me and whatnot. I'm just like, and I'll look at it. I'll show I've seen it, but I'm not going to respond.
Sure.
I feel like that is the thing. Like people always, they feel like they're entitled to something. You know, entitled to an answer, entitled to feel like they can just hit you up and stuff like that. Yeah, I like to maintain like a nice professional boundary.
Anything out of pocket that
I mean nothing really crazy or anything like that. You know, fans, someone will try to hug you or whatever, and just like, hey, you know, fist bump. You know, like keep
6 feet.
Yeah. No, keep the boundaries and stuff like that. No, nothing too crazy has ever happened.
Gotcha.
If something does, we'll have to come back and chop it up.
Let us know what it is. How has wrestling influenced your approach to leadership?
A lot of the things I learned as an amateur wrestler, now as a coach in coaching amateur wrestling, but then in this, you know, leading the charge, you know, kind of like if you're dealing with something, you know, you gotta kind of suck it up and push through and things like that. I mean, the Melanin Mafia, I mean, we've never said that there is a direct leader of the group. Even though I do a lot of the talking, maybe people think it's me. I like to take a leadership role, if that makes sense. Like even with some of our shoots, like, okay, what if we do this? What if we set it up like this? But then again, it is a group effort. Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you have an inspiring message for the youth?
Decide what you want to be and go be it. I grew up out here in Hayward. I actually grew up in the condos across the street from Mount Eden.
Okay.
Lived there for a long time. I was in there just a kid watching wrestling, you know, mesmerized by the aspect of sports entertainment, and decide what you want to be and go be it. You know, at 8 years old, I knew I wanted to be a professional wrestler, and then actually I'll give it kind of even going deeper in that. I remember it was WrestleMania 25. It was April 5th, 2009.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels, who's my favorite wrestler of all time.
All right.
He's wrestling The Undertaker.
Okay.
And I'm 13 years old. I'm at my grandma's house, and I thought that was an absolute masterclass. It was at that moment in time where I was like, okay, I have to do this one day.
Right.
Yeah, so basically fight for your dreams, they'll fight for you. Decide what you want to be and go be it.
With your students, how's that going? Like with leadership and your students?
I do have some students that are professional wrestling fans.
Yeah.
And so a couple of them have come to my shows.
Gotcha.
And stuff like that. And I tell them kind of the same thing. Whatever you want to do in this life, you can do it. It is obtainable. I was just a kid from West Hayward who loved this business, and then fortunately enough, I got to participate and perform in it. So, you know, if you want to play basketball, if you want to play football, you want to be the mayor, a lawyer, a doctor, whatever, it's obtainable. You just have to go put in the work and do it.
Right. Put the work in and do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what's up. How can we contact and follow you?
I'm on Instagram and Twitter, Sancho DiMera, SanchoDimera. You can also find me at Oasis Pro. That is the company I wrestle for. It's in Berkeley, California.
Gotcha.
If you've ever had a dream of being a wrestler, commentator, referee, or announcer, the Oasis Pro Dojo, 1275 San Pablo Avenue in Berkeley. We run shows once a month at the Gilman Brewery in Berkeley, California.
Nice.
Come check us out over there. We have a lot of good training over there, trained by members of the Samoan Dynasty, Journey Fatu, Yosefa Parisi. Our head trainer, Jacob Fatu, he's in WWE now. He's doing a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does that feel to be part of those circles and stuff?
It's cool, man, because, you know, I spent a lot of time with Jake, you know, not just in training, but on the road, you know. That's my boy. So to see him make it on that level, it warmed my heart, but then also, okay, this is obtainable, you know. That's kind of my main goal. If I can make it to WWE, that's wonderful. You know, that's the dream. I think my main goal in this business, if I can be financially stable to where I don't have to, you know, work a regular job ever again, if this is the main source of income, wherever it may be, if it's WWE or another company, if I can make it, then I know I've made it. Then that 8-year-old boy, I can tell him, job well done, you did it.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to let the people know out there?
Follow all things Melanin Mafia. You know, I posted on my socials.
It's on his shirt.
Yeah,
it's on his sweater right there.
Melanin Mafia, by any means necessary. We don't die, we multiply. You know, we may get new members here and there. So you know.
I might just join.
Oh, okay. You know, we can have a subdivision of the Melanin Mafia. There we go. Sancho likes that.
All right,
Yeah.
let's get it. Let's get it.
Come on now.
That's what's up. So, thank you for coming on the show, man. We're definitely got to check you out on
Thank you.
all these episodes you got going on too, on your show and stuff too.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. You know, Gilman Brewery, come watch me dog walk somebody like I always do.
Sancho DiMera, the X Factor.
Come on now. Hello.
Let's get it. You are tuned into Evolve the Earth Talk Show podcast. Like, follow, and subscribe on all platforms at ETE Talk Show. Leave a comment on any subjects you would like us to discuss or questions you would like us to answer during our episodes. Shout out to the students and staff of Chabot College's Mass Communications Department for assisting us in this episode's production. Thank you, world. Your time is highly appreciated. See you all on the next show.